What's up, everybody? Patrick LaRouche here from Evolve Restorative Therapy. You can find me at livepainfreeprocess.com. I am a restorative therapist that helps people eliminate pain, the people that need to live that active life, eliminate pain for the long term using self-care techniques. Today, what we're going to be talking about is you will never fix an area by doing one thing. And there's many reasons why. So, the body is hardwired to adjust and adapt and do whatever you need it to do. So, if it complained about every little thing to you, you would never accomplish those hard feats. Running a marathon, climbing a mountain, jumping out a plane, anything that deals with fear. Your body would stop you from doing it. And it does a very good job from when it doesn't want to do something, it won't. But those hard taxing things, it won't show you the things that's hurt. So if you do run and hurt your leg, it won't necessarily show you that if it's not necessary. So what does that mean? When you're in fight or flight, the body is hardwired, designed to not give you certain sensations so you can make it away from whatever you're running from or fighting from. And I've talked about this in plenty of occasions that we are in a society that's always stuck in fight or flight. We have to fight our way out of it because our stressors are everywhere, from deadlines, from whatever the case may be, it's everywhere. And our fight or flight mechanism is consistently taxed. That means we're consistently not feeling things. That's hardwired in. That's number one. Number two, the body has many different adaptive ways of working. So if one area is hurt, it might not say anything, but it's going to make another area compensate. And that's where we're going to get the bulk of our conversation today. You can't do one thing. If your knee is hurting or your hip is hurting, for instance, you'll never clean it up by doing just that hip. You have to do that hip and a couple other places to get the body to really structure a new compensation pattern or get the original effective functioning movement pattern to work in the first place. Get that clear. You can't do one thing to get the whole to work. So let's work with our hip analogy. The body has many different compensation patterns as well as we're in fight or flight majority of the time. That means we're not feeling everything that we need to feel in the first place, and it's compensating on top of that. That means you'll never ever know exactly what's wrong with you when something's wrong. Get that? So I'm going to show you one of the many different reasons why the body has infinite matters of compensation. This is your fascial trains. That means there's the fascia within inside the muscle. They connect with the whole body. There's fascial lines that run from your toes to your hips. This is one fascial train. It's your spiral. So if you have a hip issue, let's say, the fascial line will start to clump here and bunch, which then starts pulling on the rest. So your hip issue can actually be giving you knee pain, or your knee pain can give you your hip issue. But for this one, that everyone makes that correlation, like, oh, it could be coming from my hip, it could be coming from my knee, and they get that one kind of. But this is the trick. On this spiral line, it also shows you the opposite shoulder. So unless you clear at the hip, the knee, and the opposite shoulder, you're never going to get a complete give, a better, more effective give on that, because more likely that you don't even recognize that the shoulder is hurt, or this shoulder is not working more effectively. That's the key. The opposite shoulder from that hip is connected through this fascial plane. So get that right. So if you start to do just a whole lot of trigger point work and a whole lot of foam rolling and a whole lot of stretching for that hip, and you start seeing your knee getting better, but for some reason your hip is always chronically grabbing at you still, you're not working the right place. You're just not. That's point blank. If you keep on doing something over and over again and it's not clearing up, you're not hitting the right core trigger. Your core trigger might not be your hip at all. It actually might be the opposite shoulder. So a right hip pain might be being caused or sustained by a left shoulder impingement, where a shoulder won't move properly. So the better this side moves, the better the hip will move. The better anything moves all together, the more blood flow you have. The more blood flow you have, the more healing will happen. So you see it? So it all gets based down to movement. It's just a matter of how well do you move. Now, when you do think about movement, where are you being stopped at? Is it just that hip? 85% of the time? No. It's always someplace else. And that's the key. You got to stop doing just one thing. I understand we're bound for time and there's certain things that you have to do real quick, but this is something that needs to be planned. This is something that needs to be habitual after you planned it. You do your restorative work consistently. And then once you do that, you're no longer just working one area on, one day of the week. You're doing different areas throughout the week in small amounts of times. So now you're clearing out the whole body all the time. And that's when you start to get extremely efficient, because now you're not just always looking at the hip. Your hip, the knees, you're doing things all over the place. So now the body has ways of different ranges of motion, different ways of using its compensation patterns, and then they're more likely to actually find the sweet spot that's going to get your body to work effectively everywhere, where this shoulder will now come back online, will make this hip will come back online. You see that? It will find its own ways. That's the way that you want to start addressing your body. It's never going to tell you, this is my problem, focus on it, straight out. It just won't. You're going to have to touch, you're going to have to explore, and you're going to have to see how your body says something right after you're done clearing up an area. That's the only way that you're going to get this to clean up, is you're going to do something, see how it affects the whole, not just your hip, the whole. And once your body starts learning how to talk to you and you understand it in the whole, that's when you can start saying, all right, this is my problem. Nope, this is my problem. I always have to go here, because then you'll find your skeleton keys. Then you'll find the one thing that will unlock many different areas. You'll never, ever get it on the first shot. You'll never say, oh, my hip is bothering me, let me just work here, and it's going to be cured. It just won't happen, because the body is designed to not tell you everything. It's designed to do so, so stop trying to find the one thing right off the bat. You're going to have to do all this other work before you can be like, oh, this is actually my problem. And majority of the time, you're going to need somebody's help to find it. Somebody that knows the body's tricks, because the body is very tricky and it's very cunning, because it's designed not to talk to you all the time. How annoying would that be, right? But that's what the body can do. The body knows what it's doing. Let it do what it's doing, folks. If you liked it, share it, folks, because a lot of people need to understand this. If you're not part of the family, please sign up, because then I can get dropped in your inbox and I can tell you all these different things, as well as you can email me straight up and say, Pat, what about this? And I'll answer it just like this. Folks, till next time, bye.